Let's talk about internationals and the decks that are quite valuable. In the meta game, it's tactical, knowledge in the brain, fantastical. The Decidueye is here to snipe some more. Giratina to distortion door with Granbull. We even the score is that crazy deck we're looking for. Then there's Blacephalon, one shot still the break it on. With B strings we wished upon, that's quite a sweet phenomenon. And of course we have them Zoroark, trading is still going very hard. Helmaz, the opening card, and Righteous beating to tear you apart. Stage 2s are also back, Ninetales has a great bag, getting candies like a maniac. The tournament's over, let's react. One word about decks, which decks play the right decks? Alolan Ninetales, yeah, what's that? Learn all about it in this video, yeah, ha! Episode 198, the Latin America Internationals recap. Yeah, let's rock! What's up YouTube, it's TCG here, and thanks again for tuning in for another TCG video on my channel. In this video we're gonna go over the results of the internationals in Sao Paulo, of course, in Brazil. That was a huge tournament, the first internationals, and had 630 players in the master division. We're gonna go over the results of that tournament, see what decks are hot right now, what decks drops off the radar, what deck cards are being used right now. So if you're interested in the current standard format and what it's all about, well, this is a perfect video for you to see where you're standing with your current deck and what you can do about it. So let's go diving into the deck list. This is going to be LimitlessTCG that we're going to be using. So LimitlessTCG, a fantastic website to just get yourself deck lists, proxies, all the good stuff. So a very great non-original Pokemon website. It's not officially by Pokemon, but it's definitely one of the best Pokemon websites in my opinion. So let's go into this. We have the first place winner. Of course, we had that shenanigans where one of the players got disqualified. If you want to learn the story about that, there's a link in the description. So that's why the top 8 got rearranged. That player got actually scratched from the entire list. So let's go with the first place winning list. It's going to be Zoroark Control. Zoroark Control is one of those decks that relies on, of course, the Oranguru here. Where is it? Oranguru from, of course, Ultra Prism, making sure that you can get your hammers back, all your good stuff, maybe even your Ace Rolls, Max Potion, all that good stuff. So you use Research Management, put all those disruption and good cards on the bottom of your deck, and use the Zoroark GX to trade those cards, actually to get them quicker out of the deck. Zoroark still a very popular Pokemon with, of course, the ability to trade, and has, of course, the Righteous beating 120 if your bench is full. Not only that, people are now running Alolan Muck. You might wonder, why are they running Alolan Muck? Well, it pretty much destroys Granbull, and not only that, it also destroys things like Giratina. So the Distortion Door ability does not work at all. So a lot of basic abilities are being blocked with Alolan Muck. And why are they running Alolan Muck without Grimer? Well, we have, of course, the newly introduced Ditto Prism Star, the star of the tournament, because with the Almighty Evolution, Ditto can turn into every stage 1, and that's why there's a lot of stage 1 decks in here. We have Alolan Muck and, of course, Magcargo. There's a 1/1 line Magcargo in here, but actually that's a 2/1 line because the Ditto Prism Star can also sometimes evolve into Magcargo. And with Smooth Over, you can put any card you want on top, and with, of course, Zoroark, you can trade it out. So how does this deck function? Well, you try to get rid of all of the opponent's energy. So against decks like Malamar and Rayquaza, not that good, but against other matchups, think about Zoroark Mirror, you're gonna have a fantastic time. We have lots of cards to use. We have Team Skullgrunt. The opponent reveals the hand, discard 2 cards from it. That's a fantastic card. We have Plumeria, discarding 1 card on the board. If you discard 2 cards from your hand, we have, of course, the all-known Crushing Hammer to discard energies. We have Enhanced Hammer to discard special energies. And as a little known fact, there's not a lot of ways to get back special energies. We have, of course, the Decidueye with the Hollow Hunt GX, but not with the Tomb Hunt or whatever GX. You can get cards back thanks to that, or the Oranguru. Other than that, there's no way of getting back special energy. So that's very dangerous. There was the Enhanced Hammers. There's also Counter Catcher, so this deck is going to fall behind and try to stalk the opponent and try to rely on their hammers to get rid of all the opponent's energies, and that's why this deck did very well. Lycanroc Lab is a very powerful card in this deck. That means all the tool cards get shut down. No more annoying spell attacks, no choice bands to help with the damage output to one-shot Zoroark GX. So with Lycanroc Lab out, you even counter things like Shrine because you overlap the shrines, and Lycanroc Lab just pretty much shuts down every tool card. That means also things like a Skateboard do not work in Malamar matchup, so that's fantastic. And the thing you want to do here is that this deck is very consistent. It runs the newly Professor Elm's Lecture. Search your deck for 3 Pokemon with 60 HP or less. This will always be 2 Zoro and a Ditto if you have the Ditto. But of course, there's also another thing. There is the Sableye in here, which also has 60 HP. It's searchable thanks to the Professor on the lecture, and with this, you can use that attack, and your opponent cannot play any supporter from their hand during the next turn. You can stall a little bit with Sableye while you are relying on things like Plumeria, slow supporters of the turn, and just try to get rid of all the opponent's energies. You also have access to, of course, the Crushing Hammers and stuff, and the craziest deck card ever. You might think, well, Gardevoir pretty much wrecks Zoroark list like this. Well, that's where Articuno shines. With Cold Crush GX, you can discard all energies from both active Pokemon. That means if a Gardevoir with 5 energy tries to shut down your Zoroark in one blow with a Choice Band, whatever, well, there is of course a solution. You have your Articuno up front, discard all those energies, and you're back on track once again. So very, very nice to see all those crazy picks. Only 3 DCEs, which I find very peculiar. So this list is morely designed to discarding energies rather than to play 4 DCEs. So there's also 2 Rainbow energies just for the Oranguru and the of course the attack of the Articuno GX. But sometimes if you have 2 Rainbow energies on the Zoroark, you can also use Trickster GX. So that's what the list is all about. We try to get rid of all the opponent's energies while you also maybe play down a little muck to slow them down, and you're gonna have an awesome time. Why did this list did so well at the tournament? Well, because there's a lot of decks that do not run a lot of energy. Think about the Decidueye list, think about Granbull list, think about yeah, what else of the list. We're just gonna cover them in a minute. So next up is going to be Granbull. There's 2 versions of Granbull in the top 8, and Third Reckless actually made it into the top 8, which is fantastic because this guy is just insane, doing very well throughout the last couple of years. He just dominates. So this is the 2nd place winning list, and that was by, of course, Nicholas Gallas. And let's see here, we do see the 4-4 line of Granbull. If you're not familiar with Granbull, you should be, because we're expected to see a lot more play at your upcoming tournament, because Granbull is good. Granbull dishes out 160 if your hand is empty. If not, you just dish out 30, which is still very good for a single energy. And with things like Choice Band and Shrine of Punishment, things go overboard. So the thing is, Granbull can cap at 200 thanks to the Shrine damage and the Choice Band. That's 200, which is awesome. You can hit things like Alolan Ninetales GX, Lycanroc GX, all the good stuff. Not Zoroark GX, that still needs 1 more damage counter, but you get the point. Granbull is good. You also one-shot things like Alolan Exeggutor. It's just one of the best one-price attackers we've ever seen. The bad news is you have to empty your hand. How do we do that? Well, as you see in this list, no draw supporters whatsoever. There's only 1 of them in there, but most of the time you will use that for the switching mechanic. Titan Liza. Okay, what do we see here? We have Macargo to put a card on the top. That means you can put an Ultra Ball on top, and you can also draw that out immediately with Oranguru. So the thing here is, you put an Ultra Ball on top, you use the Instruct, bam, you have 3 cards in the hand with 1 Ultra Ball, including, bam, you empty your hand, get out a Snubbull or Granbull, depending on the situation, and then your hand is empty and you just fire away with all out, dishing out bazillion damage. There is a 1-1 line of Zebstrika in here. Why was that great? Well, people were playing Alolan Muk to counter Granbull, so lots of the good players tried to just fit in 1 Alolan Muk to just counter that Oranguru ability. So that's why there's 1-1 line of Strika in here. Once during your turn, you may discard your hand and draw 4 cards. Why is this very great in this list? Because it runs Diantha. Now you can make so much use of Diantha. If you just discard resources early game, don't even worry about it too much. As soon as one of your Granbulls gets knocked out, you have access to Diantha, and you can get everything you possibly dreamed of, so that's going to be fantastic. The main supporter is Apricorn Maker. Apricorn Maker and Granbull is fantastic. You can in the early game get your Nazballs, late game get your Ultra Balls, or maybe get a Great Ball, whatever you have left in the deck. And the thing here is Apricorn Maker makes the deck work, because early game Nazball will mean you get your Slugma out, your maybe your Ditto Prism Star, your Snubbull, everything you can get out with the Nazball, and then you just start rolling. With the 4 Great Ball as well, you just have your setup, and you just try to empty your hand every single turn thanks to the Smooth Over ability and the Instruct, or maybe the Sprint of the Zebstrika. Only 6 Fairy Energies, but you can get them back with Diantha, so there's not a lot of issues right there. And you even can search them out with, of course, Smooth Over. So that is kind of interesting. We also have Palpat to reuse, of course, that Diantha, because Diantha will be the main star in a deck like this. And there's also a couple of ones-off which you can play immediately, like a Pokemon Catcher. There's been a while since we've seen that. There's also the Fiery Flint. Now you might say, there's no Fire Energies in this deck. Why is this in here? Well, to have like an extra discarding card. This card can just discard 2 cards from the hand, which is sometimes needed because, yeah, you don't have a hand like with 2 supporters. You can only play 1. You have to discard the other one. So that's how it rolls. So that is the list. Prepare yourself for Granbull. Granbull 2nd place. Very, very awesome. Next up, the rise of Decidueye. Decidueye is back in the meta. Why is Decidueye back? Because of Alolan Ninetales. it's just so consistent. I played this actually yesterday at my local league just to have a little bit of practice with it. So Decidueye, if you have not noticed, is from Sun and Moon base. Feather Arrow actually did very well last season. This season is back with Feather Arrows and not with Forest of Giant Plants. Who needs that when you can have Alolan Ninetales? Nope, it's not this one. Alolan Ninetales GX from the Lost Thunder set to just use Mysterious Guidance, get 2 items from your deck, bam, in the hand, and of course that most of the time will be a rare candy. This list also runs a 3-2 line of Zoroark for some draw power, and of course this Ninetales to have like the sniping capabilities of Ice Blade, but also hitting weakness against the popular Blacephalon, which we'll visit in a minute. And of course Ditto Prism Star is the star in almost every deck nowadays. Magcargo is also in here. As you can see, there's only one Magcargo, 0 Slugma, so the trend in the metagame right now is Ditto Prism Star can be anything you ever want. You want a stage 1 tech card? It is possible right now. Okay. Tech cards I can think about right now is Alolan Muk, Machoke to prevent sniping, like against this deck, for example. Let's say Feather Arrow doesn't work. Well, GG, well played. So, what else you see? Just the Decidueye, Alolan Ninetales, and Zoroark. What else is something we haven't covered before? First things you have to know is that everything has 60 HP. Even the Rowlet, so you can get everything out with the Professor Elm's Lecture. And the Alolan Vulpix is such a star in this deck. With Beacon, you can get 2 Pokemon into your hand. If they don't use Judge or Marshadow, they stick in the hand and bam, second turn, 2 Decidueyes. It is possible. So very, very awesome deck. There's a lot of cards in here. The most interesting one is Counter Game. If you're behind in price cards, you only need, yeah, it actually reduces the attack cost by 1 Kara's energy. That means Alolan Ninetales can attack for 1 energy and can one-shot Ultra Beast. Can just snipe damage with Snowy Wind, so it's very great in this deck. There's 2 copies of that in there. On Verbank, he stated that it's definitely necessary if there's a counter game priced, or maybe, yeah, he definitely stated that 2 counter games was awesome in this deck and it helped him out a lot. So, also early game you might just use Ultra Ball to throw it away, so whatever, it doesn't even matter too much. There's also Max Potion to heal off your insanely, Decidueye with 240 HP. But not only that, Alolan Ninetales, this one has 210 HP, and it also has the Ice Patch GX at its disposal to just put all the damage on itself to the opponent. So very, very great. It's all depending on the damage counters in Decidueye Ninetales with Zoroark. So I do think this deck, yeah, as you see, there's only 2 basic fairy energies. So against a deck like Zoroark Control, this deck is going to have it very rough indeed, because that deck usually just discards all of those energies, and you know how that goes. Then another Zoroark Decidueye list here. I don't think this is a little bit different. This with 4 Zoroark. Okay, no Ninetales whatsoever. So, oh boy, we do see Devoured Field for those 1 price attackers to hit your damage output to 130 with the Raich's Beating, 4 rare candy and super boost energy. Ooh, this list tries to get out 4 Decidueyes. There's 4 Decidueyes in here, and then relies on Super Boost Energy as the attacker. Whoa, very great. 4 Mass Ball, 4 Great Ball, so a very, very heavy build Decidueye list. So Decidueye is back on the map. Now we're going to explore another deck. We're not going to go over another Zoroark Control deck. This time around, I'm just going to go over all the new things that you want to see. The variety, that's right. Here we have Buzzwole Lycanroc. Buzzwole Lycanroc is back. You see Buzzwole, well, last season it yeah, kicked some serious ass, and this time around it's back to do the exact same thing. Why is the baby Buzzwole not favored here? Well, because, yeah, this Buzzwole GX is just insane with B-String. You hit those numbers perfectly, and how do you get your B-Strings? Glad you asked. We have Alolan Ninetales GX with Mysterious Guidance, getting yourself the B-Strings when you always wanted them. And Alolan Vulpix is also searchable with Brooklyn Hill, and Brooklyn Hill gets rid of Shrine, so why not play Buzzwole GX? 4 copies of that to just get those pressure early game. You one-shot the Zoroark, you do a lot of things with Professor Kukui and Diancie Prism Star. You just, if it's in here, yeah, Diancie Prism Star, definitely it's in here. You hit those crazy numbers like 70 on the first turn. I've seen it happen. You know who needs strong energy when you can do it with Kukui and Diancie, right? Yeah, strong energy is way better, but yeah, that's expanded. But standard, it is also doing very well. 70, that hits things like Schnubble, Grubbin, what else? Rowlets, Vulpix. So you one-shot those little baby Pokemon with Buzzwole GX while also threatening the opponent with 30 damage on the bench to then one-shot them with, of course, the most powerful Knuckle Impact you've ever seen. With B-Strings, it's very much searchable, and there's also attack in here, Giraffric. Why is Giraffric in this deck? You might say, wow. Well, it's because of Get Lost, but 2 cards from the opponent's discard pile in the Lost Zone. Not only does it work out against Alolan Executor to put those energies in the Lost Zone to have their damage output decreased, It also works out against Zoroark decks, Zoroark control decks in general. So they usually want to use Oranguru to get back their resources and stuff. Well, with Get Lost, you can put 2 cards from their discard pile into the Lost Zone. It also works out against Granbull because Granbull relies on the discard with Diantha. So Jarflick, a very nice deck. Definitely search your your room or your place for one copy to just put in your binder because it's definitely gonna see more play as we move on here. What else haven't we seen before? Marshadow, that's the star of the World Championships. Everybody's now using Let Loose. Well, actually, a lot of decks are using it. All the rest, you've all pretty much familiar to. Lycanroc GX, of course. Buzzwole Lycanroc. Buzzwole would not be a Buzzwole deck without Lycanroc. So Lycanroc, amazing with the bloodthirsty eyes. Bang, you can target something and then just jet punch it away. Not only that, with Dangerous Rogue, you have an one-hit KO move. Let's just admit that everybody is benching their entire bench full of Pokemon, and that's why you're dealing a lot of damage. Lizaya, hello. This is a supporter we are not familiar with too much. Searches your deck for 2 Prism Star cards. Which ones are those? It's going to be Priest Energy and of course the Diancie Prism Star. That combo actually makes it so Buzzwole GX, you're most of the time gonna start with it because you have 4 copies, is going to be able to dish out 80. And 80 seems to be the perfect number. Things like Slugma also go down. So fantastic, right? So definitely take good notes of this because 80 is going to be crazy. Just 80 on the first turn, imagine that, and 30 on the bench. With Choice Band, you even hit big basic GXs. You even 2-shot them with a simple Jet Punch, which is awesome. Multi-switch to just get that energy onto Lycanroc for the Dangerous Rogue GX, and then all the rest is, we're all familiar with the rest of the cards. Of course, Guzma is in here. I'm surprised there's only, there's 3 Guzmas because we have, of course, the Bloodthirsty Eyes. What do we also see here is Unit Energy. Why are we playing Unit Energy and not all basic energies? There we have him, the Ultra Beast Killer. That's Alolan Ninetales Sublimation GX, one-shot Ultra Beast of choice. So not of choice, the opponent's active Ultra Beast. So if they come with Blacephalon, KO. If they come with Buzzwole, KO. If they come with Duskmane Necrozma, not that sees any play because of his weak to fire. If you see an Ultra Beast, it's knocked out. So that's why this deck is still doing good. And as long as Zoroark is doing good, Buzzwole is doing good. So that is something you have to take notes of. Next up, another archetype, the Blacephalon Naganadel. This is an archetype, wow, 4 Naganadel. So they opted to go for 4 line. We also saw a 4-3 line of Naganadel before, but Blacephalon. Yeah, this is a crazy card. For a single energy, you can just discard one of your prize cards with the GX move. If it's an energy, you can attach it to one of your Pokemon. Awesome. Not only that, Mind Blown. That's where it's all about with this card. 50 damage for every fire energy you're willing to put in the Lost Zone. And this deck can put lots of energies in the Lost Zone because it runs 17 energies. 1 Beast Energy and 16 fire energies. Now you might say, wow, I'm gonna have a dead hand. Well, nothing more is true. We have lots of cards to discard. Wow, there's 3 Sophocles in here. Interesting. So Sophocles is a draw supporter right now. There's 3 copies of that in here. You could also go for, of course, the other way around. It is going to be with Sightseer. This list opted to go for Sophocles, so definitely gonna have to get my Sophocles out of my bulk. Alright, next up, we do see Mysterious Treasure to discard your fire energies. We have Ultra Ball. We have no Acrobike, but we have a Heat Factory Prism Star to just get more energies into the discard pile. So you want to get those energies in the discard pile, and with all these draw supporters, you're 2 Lilies as well. So since there's also Tapu Lele in here, you always have access to your supporter of choice, if it's not priced, of course. There's only 1 Tapu Lele in here, but there's also Marshadow, which is sometimes a draw supporter of its own, but it also disrupts the opponent. So the thing you want to do, get the energy in the discard pile, set up your Naganadels, get the energies back with Charging Up ability. That's what the ability of Naganadel does. And then you have energies in play to then just put in the Lost Zone with Mind Blown. This deck is very, very, very solid and did very well throughout the tournament. We're gonna see some more Blacephalons pop up in the top 64 here. Is it 64? Yeah, it's the top 64. What else are we gonna look at here? So we already had a lot of, another Granbull list. This is Stored Recklifts list. I'm definitely gonna check every top 8 list here because I want to see here. Yeah, what else? This list did not run any Zip Strikers, but it did run the Pokénav to get maybe an energy, maybe a Pokemon. So that is interesting to see. Also 2 Diantha instead of 3 because of course it didn't run the Sprint ability, and also again the Pelpat. So this deck is not afraid of discarding a lot of resources, and also 7 Fairy energies. So that is very interesting. Okay, 2 different Granbull lists. I'm also gonna check out the other Zoroark control list now that we're definitely checking out every top 8 list. Then we're gonna go a little bit faster because the top 8 was the most important thing. What do we see? Macargo, Alolan Muck. get your hands head together. I do think it's the exact same list. Could be wrong though. First place and sixth place. Okay, this is the exact same list, so it doesn't even matter too much if we skipped over it. So Zoroark control, 2 of them in the top 8, and there's 2 Decidueyes in the top 8, then 2 Granbull and Blacephalon and Buzzwole. So a little bit of variety, but Zoroark is still mainly dominant. Next is the number 9 spot, Rayquaza. You thought it was dead because of all those Ninetales running around and Granbull and stuff. Well, this Rayquaza list proved everybody wrong by having the Zero Aura on top. Thunderclap Zone is of course the way to retreat your Vikavolt and your Rayquazas because they have a huge retreat cost. We covered this deck already, won a couple of tournaments with it as well. So I'm a big fan of Rayquaza. I'm not a big fan of the weakness because in the current metagame, lots of parry as you see. So Rayquaza does hit crazy numbers because for every grass and lightning energy you have attached to your Pokemon, you dish out 30 damage. That means you can just hit crazy numbers. I do like the way it's including the Lycanroc Slap. I think that is the way to play Rayquaza right now because with everybody running Choice Bank, Kukui on stuff, and Devoured Field with Zoroark can one-shot Rayquaza. That is something you don't want, so that's why Lycanroc Slap is in here. Also, Shrine of Punishment kills Rayquaza, so that's why there's 3 copies of Lycanroc Slap in here. Otherwise, as pretty much self-explanatory, and Voltner gets, of course, your rare candy. If it loads on the page, we have to wait a little bit. Here we have search your deck for a lightning energy and an item. Most of the times that will be a rare candy to get your Vikavolt in play as quickly as possible. Then we have Glaceon. I would love to see this Glaceon list. I always say to people, is Glaceon good? Is Glaceon good? And I always say that I'm like, well, in the current meta, I don't know because it only shuts down GX abilities. And there's a lot of things like the Naganadel ability with the charging up. We have the Vikavolt ability. We have the Malamar with the psychic transfer. So a lot of non-GX abilities that are still active. And I don't know if Glaceon is good right now. But with the inclusion of Blacephalon being so powerful, I do think that Zoroark Glaceon does have a little bit of a niche spot in the meta. Definitely want to see the list if I can get it. Maybe you guys can send that guy, like, maybe you can share your list in LimitlessTCG. Definitely told them that ZapDoseTCG sent you because maybe he's gonna do it. Who knows? Glaceon, definitely want to see that in action. I also have a couple of Glaceons sitting in my banner that definitely want some fresh air, if you know what I mean. Then Robin Schultz, the current world champion. Of course, I've seen him before at lots of tournaments in the little special events. I even sat next to him and we did very well. I think we had the first and the second seed at the League Cup the day after. But anyhow, it's a very great player, always plays fantastic decks. And this time around, he brought something new to the table. We have Gardevoir. Gardevoir, this is a world champion deck, Gardevoir. And there's a world championship card, that's what I meant. So Gardevoir, we have Swampert, and we have Solgaleo. Now you say to yourself, wow, so much Tesus, it's even hard to get out one. Well, in this deck, nothing more is true. Oh, my battery is almost empty. Let me just get my charger up in this place because we don't want this shutting down. We are in the middle of recording a video. You never want the computer shutting down, so always plug in your charger. So as you see, smart adapter, it's on. So where were we? So Gardevoir dishes out more damage depending on how many energies you have attached to both active Pokemon. So if the opponent has lots of energies, you dish out more damage. If you have a lot of energies, you dish out more damage. Swampert is for the draw support with power draw. Pretty much the Zoroark, but a little bit less power. Yeah, how do I say it? Less consistent, but if you get it out, it's more consistent. It's a stage 2, that's why I think it's less consistent. But if you get it out, discard 1 card from the hand in order to draw 3 cards. It's better than trade, right? And then, of course, we have Solgaleo, the promo 1, Turbo Strike, 120, and then you can attach energies from your discard pile to your Gardevoir, for example. So that's why you're getting energy. So that's why this list did very well. 3 Tapu Koko. Why is that? You want your first turn Elm, otherwise this deck pretty much falls apart. So if you get your Elm, get your Ditto out. Ditto is, of course, in every one of those decks. And Ditto can evolve into, of course, Alolan Ninetales, but also can evolve in random Curlia if you don't have, of course, your rare candy. There's definitely going to be 4 rare candy in here. And as you evolve and into that Alolan Ninetales GX, you have access to Mysterious Guidance to evolve up your weak little basics that you got out with the Professor Elm's Lecture. So that's how the deck functions. There's Timer Ball in here, there's Ultra Ball in here. Of course, lots of consistency with 4 Cynthia, but of course with Swampert, you draw the entire deck. So that's the first card you want to get out if you're playing this deck. Get out Swampert, use Power Draw, hopefully draw into another rare candy and a Pokemon, and then you go in circles, getting out everything. As soon as you have your board position on, you're pretty much unbeatable because the Solgaleo can heal off all the damage. And it can also get back energies, and Gardevoir can deal the crazy amount of damage that we gotten used to. Not only that, it's a fairy type, so if you see Rayquaza, you pretty much laugh like, ha ha ha, yeah, we're gonna just destroy you. Super Boost Energy! I have not talked about Super Boost Energy much, but in this deck, it's a definite must. You're definitely relying on lots of stage 2s. If you have 3 of them out, this counts as a 4 type of every type of energy. So you can just have 4 energies onto your Gardevoir. That is a crazy amount for Infinite Force. But you can also start attacking with Swampert out of nowhere. As a water type, you destroy Blacephalons and you're gonna have an awesome time. Pretty much the rest is just DCEs and Fairy Energy. So Robin Shields, very nice to see some variety here in the top 16 because of course the Gardevoir list is very nice. Another Granbull list, let me just, I'm not gonna go over every Granbull list. There's also the Decidueyes that are here. Zoroark Lycanroc is also a thing. Passimian, Tapu Koko, it's still around. We saw it at the little special event. We saw Tapu Koko with Poison Barb doing well. Tapu Koko with Flying Flips is still a thing. Why is that? Because, yeah, a lot of decks have weak evolutions. Think about Schnubble, think about Zoroark, think about Rowlet. So spreading damage is always good in the meta. And with Passimian, I don't know if you've noticed, look at the amount of Zoroark in this list. If there's a lot of Zoroark, Passimian will always do good, unless they are running weakness policy. But then, still, yeah, you're a weakness Pokemon, you maybe have Field Blower in your list, who knows. Then Buzzwole Lycanroc without Alolan Ninetales, I think. I don't see Alolan Ninetales, but I do see Tapu Koko with the Flying Flips. It does run DCE, so it's a very interesting list here. Also, Sudowoodo shows up for the Roadblock. That means that the Zoroark players will have a drop, but also other decks that rely on lots of bench space. Wow, interesting list with a heavy line of Lycanroc. So this list tries to use Claw Slash, as you can see, 3 DCEs, but also has Buzzwole and the baby Buzzwole as support. Other than that, there's a Servola on this list. I think it's pretty much a list designed to destroy Zoroark. That's the only thing I can think of. So wow, very nice to see. Not Alolan Ninetales, but still awesome. Some more Rayquazas. Let's see if they also run the Lysander's Lab. That way we can conclude that Lysander's Lab is a definite must in Rayquaza decks. We do see 2 Lysander's Labs, so note that down. Lysander's Lab is a thing in Rayquaza. If you're playing Rayquaza, play Zeraora and play Lysander's Lab. We're just gonna check one more time. 2 Lysander's Labs and Zeraora. Okay, that seems to be the main treat. The main treat of Zoroark. Then Zoroark with Weavile and Alolan Ninetales. That is very nice because I do think, yeah, lots of Acerolas, Kokuis, and Weavile destroys everything that has lots of abilities. Think about what is being played at the moment. Zoroark has tons of abilities. Rayquaza, lots of abilities. Malamar, lots of abilities. Decidueye, lots of abilities. I could keep going, but yeah, Magcargo has an ability. Everything has abilities, and then Weavile shows up, dealing 50 damage with Evil, Admonition, and then 50 damage for every one of the opponent's Pokemon with an ability that is one-shot potential. With Choice Band, with Kukui, you hit those numbers perfectly. With Devoured Field, that is an extra 60 damage you can add to that damage output, and then they won't ever see it coming. Alolan Ninetales can, of course, get items from the deck that you want. There's lots of ones-up. We have Counter Gain if you're behind. You can one-shot Ultra Beast with Alolan Ninetales. We have Energy Lotto if you desperately want that energy. We have Palpad to reuse your Acerolas if you want them. Rescue Stretcher, all those ones-up is fantastic in this deck. But the most important one, Devoured Field, 3 copies. Devoured Field gets rid of Shine and also helps Zoroark to dish out 130. And not only that, with Devoured Field and Professor Kukui, you also one-shot Granbulls. Unless they have the bodybuilding dumbbells, but if they don't have that, you're just one-shotting these Zoroarks. They actually, the Granbulls, they have resistance to darkness, but with the Professor Kukui and Devoured Field, you definitely hit the number. So very neat list, if I can just say that. Alolan Vulpix and stuff, awesome. What else? This is awesome. I think this guy took some notes from the Sander that actually piloted this deck first. The Steelix Wailord deck. Again, you rely on getting rid of all the opponent's energies while you just stall with a huge HP Pokemon with 190 with the Steelix, and the Wailord has 220. If you're not against grass, get out Wailord. If you're not against fire, get out Steelix. If you get your huge HP Pokemon out and you rely on the Shrine to just put in the work, you're definitely gonna have an awesome time. We have Metal Frying Pan to reduce damage against Steelix and even get rid of its weakness entirely. Bodybuilding Dumbbells for Wailord to put it up to 260. If they cannot get rid of the tool cards and all that good stuff, they will have a hard time. And the thing you want to do here, Faba is awesome inclusion in this list, getting rid of an opponent's energy and go to the Lost Zone or tool card or stadium card, depends on what you want to choose. Most of the times you just get a DCE and put it in the Lost Zone. That's what Faba's work does. Team Skullgrunt, Plumeria, Crushing Hammers, you know the deal. This deck is awesome. And with Steven's Resolve, you don't even attack, so you just smack this down, get the 3 cards you want, and then it's the opponent's turn. You can smack down all your hammers, and that's why this deck is doing good. Stall decks, you have to be careful of it. There's also Counter Energy in here, definitely gonna fall behind in prize cards regardless, and a Rainbow Energy. This is just mainly to use the Tapu Koko with the damage swap, and of course the Rainbow Energy Articuno. As we've seen, Gardevoir goes through all those huge HP Pokemon. Well, Articuno then shows up. Haha, all your energies are gone. Then the most surprising part, it's a gnome hand. This is awesome. If you have 35 or more cards in the hand, you automatically win the game. There's a YOLO one gnome in here for the means of it. Sometimes this happens. If you don't play Judge or of course, Marshadow. Yeah, that's right. What else are we seeing here? Malamar. A Malamar spread. I do predict Giratina in here. Yeah, one Giratina. But it's not the main focus here. Shining Arceus is the main focus, pretty much based on the winning list in Japan. So you just try and get your, Shining Arceus set up thanks to a DCE and some Psychic Recharges of Malamar. And then bam, Ultimate Arrow 30 to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Combined with Flying Flips and all the good stuff. You just spread a lot of damage and then you just finish the job with Tapu Koko and the Magical Swap. So that is what the list is designed to do. What else do we see here of new cards? Nothing much. This is a list we've already covered before. Definitely watch out of your Chimecho, which can just shut down Zoroark decks entirely because they cannot play anything with abilities. Awesome. And also Onyx. Onyx is fantastic as a Zoroark counter. 120. There's a lot of DCs, 3 DCs in here. And if you can just set it up with DC attachment, Psychic Transfer, Retreat or something, and bam, you just one-shot Zoroarks. Not even needing choice bands. That's how awesome it is. What else? So we're scrolling down here a bit. There's a little bit of the same. So I do think this guy is a friend of Robin Schultz, I think. Yeah, it's playing something exactly the same without Solgaleo, but Gardevoir with Swampert. Gardevoir Swampert seems to be a thing nowadays. Let's also check out Zoroark Lycanroc here. Zoroark Lycanroc Deoxys for, of course, posing Buzzwoles as attack, and Alolan Muk. Every Zoroark list is now running Alolan Muk. Oh, this is also another tech. Machoke. Machoke is an awesome tech against, of course, the Decidueye, which is seeing lots of play right now. So we're gonna scroll down a little bit and then we're gonna make our conclusion. Necrozma Malamar. Necrozma Malamar. It's the exact same thing we've gotten used to. There's a Ditto Prism Star with Garbodor. Yeah, that's what I expected. It was bound to happen. All those stage 1 deck cards are in the format right now and people are making huge deck ideas with it, and it's definitely making an impact on the scene here. So Necrozma Malamar, then some more of those, the same decks, and then, wow, what is this? Regigigas Genesect. Let us take a look at that. Predictable, it's going to be a stall deck, 180 HP. Chuckle, oh lord, Hoopa. It's all the right tools you need against the current meta. Use one of your stall cards of choice, get your hammers on board, and that's how the deck functions. We're definitely gonna try this out on TCG Online program. What the hell is this? Malin and Aquila, so they cannot retreat their basics if they're stuck or if they want to retreat. Metal Frying Pan for your Shining Genesect. If you put 2 of those onto the Shining Genesect GX, it's going to be one of the best tanks in history. So very neat to see. Max Potion. So a stall deck as we've gotten used to. Counter Energy, Rainbow Energy for Articuno and Lele, respectively. So Articuno is seeing lots of play in these stall decks. So definitely get yourself a copy of one Articuno if you are a fan of stall decks. I do not recommend stall decks whatsoever, but also one Lost March deck. Okay, that's the last deck that we're gonna look at in this video. It's already like over 30 minutes. So we have Skiploom, Jumpluff, Trumbeak. What else do we see? Machoke. Of course, Machoke has to be in here, and I'm surprised there's not a Ditto Prism Star in here. Yeah, no Ditto Prism Star, but just a one Machop and a Machoke. Probably gonna see Nazball, I presume. No, not Nazball as well. So probably, hopefully, he's gonna get it out with Professor Ounce. I do think this matchup has only 60 HP. Yeah, it has 60 HP, so now it's understandable. With Professor Ounce Lecture, you get your setup up, and if you evolve into Skiploom, you can immediately use the ability Flower Path to the Sky. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for Jumpluff and put this card and all cards attached to it into the Lost Zone. The more cards you have in the Lost Zone, the better. Since Jumpluff has the Lost March attack, we talked about this deck before. 20 damage for every Pokemon in the Lost Zone, and then you just have crazy one-shot potential with your Natu and of course your Jumpluff, so that's fantastic. What else? The Trumbeak just put themselves in the Lost Zone. This is awesome as disruption may occur here because if there's a support on top of the opponent's deck, you can put it in the Lost Zone, so there's going to be awesome effect here. And there's this straightforward Jumpluff list with super boost energy for things like Chuckle and stuff, but it did very well, so yeah, Lost March has capabilities here. So that is it for the top 64, all the different decks. I do think I covered all of them. So what can we conclude? If we go to the previous tournaments, let me just open that up in a different tab. Let me just go over the little special event. Let's see what happened with Lost Thunder. Rayquaza was dominating, so we saw lots of Rayquaza. Now that is lowered down a bit. We do see Buzzwole Lycanroc getting hyped, so this getting way better. Thanks to the Lost Thunder and the Alolan Ninetales. Necrozma Malamar is a little bit lower on the list right now, on the tier list. Shining Lugia is gone. It's disappeared completely. What else do we see here? Ho-Oh, not to be seen. Golisopod, also not to be seen. So it looks like they are kind of scared of the one-hit KO decks. Definitely Golisopod in a meta with lots of Blacephalon. Not a good idea indeed. And yeah, the Decidueye was also around a little bit here, but now it gained popularity. So also Alolan Exeggutor was in there, as I also was playing Alolan Exeggutor. But that has not seemed to be the case. Alolan Exeggutor, a very, very solid deck. I'm surprised that it didn't make it into the top 64. Not a single Sceptile or Alolan Exeggutor list. So the conclusion is Zoroark is still very, very good with control variants, with the Decidueye, with Lycanroc, even with the Glaceon. Yeah, for goodness sake, so that is awesome. And then Blacephalon is also a top tier deck, so Zoroark decks are very hot right now. Blacephalon decks are very good, and Granbull. So that is the top 3 decks, and also let me just call them Buzzwole GX decks, and of course Rayquaza. I think that is the list on my hand that is good right now. There's also the random Gardevoir decks, but they haven't proven itself to a point where they are like the top tier. So if you want to play, maybe Malamar a little bit. We don't see a lot of Malamar actually, only on the lower tiers here a little bit, but Malamar is also, we do see lots of Malamar, so let's count Malamar in there as well. So we actually have like the top decks right here. Definitely check out LimitlessTCG if you're interested to see the full detail of these lists. Maybe they'll update them. I definitely want to see Glaceon. What the hell happened here? And the thing you can conclude is that be careful of Granbull, man. It's a one-price attacking deck and it comes out of nowhere. Also, do not sleep on the Alolan X. They will prove their self-worthy. Mark my words. If I'm not gonna do it, somebody else will. So, anyhow, this was TCG. If you enjoyed the video and the knowledge and the information you got in this video, be sure to demolish the like button. As always, that helps out the channel tremendously. Subscribe for more Pokemon TCG content and information and all the good stuff you're getting used to right now. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. If you wanna go and test a deck that isn't played a lot in this format, then listen to what I'll say. If you wanna go and try it out with me, let me know how it does in a tournament. I think it could be really great. Chilling on Sundays while new ideas pop in my brain. Where is my